しとも Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Scarlet Fate Fragments of the Past. Yay! Okay, without further ado, let's continue where we left off. Anyway, it seems that I'm going to speak in full English because I don't know, I don't think people from my country is really into this kind of game. Okay, here it is. So the last time Shiki finished the ritual where she has to give her soul to the sword. Oh my god, I'm still feel sad whenever I think about it. Anyway, let us continue. We go outside. The rays of the bright sun help me feel a little bit better. According to one of the soldiers standing nearby, Gentoka and Akifusa, after waiting outside for a little while, they were no unable to get along with each other and both headed off somewhere. I paused for a moment. I wonder where Gentoka could have gone. Or maybe it would be better to find Akifusa. It seems as though he still hasn't warmed up to Gentoka at all. Since we're going to play Gentoka's route, let's find Gentoka. I promised him I'd show him around, so I'll go look for Gentoka. I really like the background music. I decided to start looking for him in the garden. Then I come across Gentoka in the garden, staring at a small crow perched in a tree. I wonder what he's thinking. From the expression I can see in profile, he appears to be somewhat lonely. Ah, he's so handsome.
儀式とやらが終わったようだな。式。
So he knew Shiki is there. He says this nonchalantly as he continues to look at the crowd. Oh, you've noticed I'm here. I'm sorry I didn't say anything.
だいぶ弱っているな。どのような儀式であれ、あまり感心する類のものではないよう
だ。He is so caring. And his voice, I don't know how many times I've said it, but I like his voice so much. Well, that is...
よければ教えてくれないか。
He's worried, he's really worried, he's so sweet. After some hesitation, I tell him about the Mitama Shizume ritual. If the sword is allowed to absorb the world's hatred unchecked, it will break the seal that binds it, and the world as we know it will end. To guard against this, Princess Tamayori must keep sacrificing a small portion of her soul in order to maintain that seal. Once I finish talking, I quietly look up at Gentoka. He looks into my eyes.
魂の一部を捧げ続けるのか。式。それではお前は長く生きられそうにないな。
Yeah, that's true. Like if you keep giving up your soul, like in the end you ended up dying. That's right.
いいのか、それ。
Oh, his story is so sweet. That is the responsibility of Princess Tamayori. All this talk about responsibility. Gentoka stays quiet for a while, but then he says that he wants to tell me something. Okay. It seems like we're going to have a meeting with everyone. Hearing that it was something that might be of importance to Kifu, we decide to move towards Shinetsu Temple. There, Akifusa, Tomonori, Gentoka, and I all gather together for the discussion. I would like to invite Kuso to come join us as well, but he's been missing for 3 days now. Kuso is one of the guy that we can date. In the meantime, the three of us listen to what Gentoka has to say. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say.
それで、気風に関わる重大なことというのは何なのです
Wow, Tomonori's voice. Not unexpectedly, Gentoka ignores Tomonori's question and begins to look at me. And begins talking to me. Okay, I know this is all about Shiki, but that's kind of rude, Gentoka.
まず私のことを少し話そう。私は人間に追われている。
Yeah, we've seen that in the prologue. Akifusa and Tomonori look surprised.
追われるとはどういうことだ？
誰に追われているのかまではわからない。私の神としての力を知れば、欲する者はいくらでもいる。だが。
Well, that's humans for you. I mean, where humans are greedy and selfish, that's just how it is.
かなりの数の兵を持つ有力者であることは確かだ。
Lord, for the first time, Gentoka directly answers Akifusa. Yeah, for the first time after bickering for a while. When they hear the word God, Akifusa and Tomonori both raise their eyebrows slightly but do not say anything. Oh, wow, what happened? The people of Gifu live in close proximity to monsters and gods, so an encounter with a god isn't unusual even around here. Okay.
何か罪を働いたのではあるまいな。
For a crime. I doubt that. I bet it's for power.
そうであるとも言えるし、そうでないとも言える。
So like it's between yes or no or something like that? Akifusa, let's listen to Gentoka's story for now. Okay. Not wanting Gentoka to feel obliged to talk about the things he doesn't want to, I interrupt Akifusa's questions and urge him to continue his story.
長い逃亡に疲れ、隙を突かれて一度は兵たちに捕らえられた。その時、玉より姫という言葉を漏れ聞いた。
Ah, so he knows about Princess Tamayori. Princess Tamayori? Gentoka nods his head in affirmation. Tomonori and Akifusa look at each other. Gifu is a very isolated village. The village is separated from the rest of the world by a mystical barrier. A layman would never be able to make it to such a place. Yeah, that really brings up question. I mean, if this village is very secluded, like how come everyone in the capital knows about Princess Tamayori? That doesn't make sense. Except for a few select people, even the imperial court does not know of our existence. Wow. So that means this place is very secluded. Just who are these people who are after Gentoka?
彼らは私を追うと同時に、玉より姫に関連する伝承も集めていたようだった。
Wow. Information about me? He gently nods his head and tells me a surprising story. Are we talking about that prophecy? That prophecy from Abe Seimei. While he was caged, he heard the soldiers talk about the words of a prophecy. Those words spoken 10 years ago. Words spoken by the top diviner of the imperial court, Seimei Abe, before his death. His last words were, "In 10 years' time, the world will come to an end. The demise will center around one princess trapped to her bloody fate." This prophecy sounds so creepy no matter how many times I read it. Seimei Abe was highly regarded among the nobility. His prediction sent the imperial court into a state of panic. Who wouldn't be panicked if there's a prophecy that foretold the end of the world? It appears the soldiers think that the princess of this prophecy is Princess Tamayori. That is, me. Wow. Gentoka's story was brief, but the shock to us was great. Of course, I mean, all this time they thought like they were being isolated from the outside world and no one really knows where they are, and suddenly there's a prophecy about Princess Tamayori. It would be enough of a surprise to find out that the name of Princess Tamayori has reached the capital, but for them to know that she is directly involved with the end of the world as well, yeah, like literally, it feels like they know too much, right? It doesn't feel right to just dismiss it as a simple gossip.
しかし血濡れた宿命とはどういうことだろうか。あまりお前とはつながらない言葉だが。
Maybe it's called bloody fate because like it's kind of like a descendant thing, or maybe it's because it has something to do with the end of the world. Well, without thinking, I hesitate. This is not something I want to disclose to other people. A heavy silence fills the air. Then maybe it's about the ritual, how she became Princess Tamayori. I mean, I've played this before, so I know like what she has to do to become a full-fledged Princess Tamayori like she is now.
血濡れた宿命を持つというならその女ほどふさわしい者はいないぞ。
Oh my gosh, this voice, oh my gosh. From somewhere, a cold, condescending voice speaks. It's a voice I know well. However, I can't say I'm glad to hear it.
やがて夫となる我を置き、何をこそこそと話している玉より姫。
I'm so... His voice is so smooth and sexy. He walks right up to me, unreserved, not paying attention to anyone else around us. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. He's so handsome. Okay, calm down. I mean, this is bad. Every time a handsome guy appears, I turn to be like this. He lifts my chin and there he is, peering straight at me, right in front of my face. It's Kuso no Mikoto. Oh my god, it's Kuso. I want to do his route, but let's do Gentoka first. The god who is soon to be my husband. The trope, isn't it? The what? The political marriage thing.
我に隠し事など通用しない。よく覚えておくことだ。玉より姫。
Okay. His voice is really like smooth and sexy in every way possible. I'm not trying to keep any secrets from you. I had no idea when you'd be back. I was going to tell you everything later.
おう、まあいい。予言がどうとか言っていたな。確かに玉より姫は世の終わりとなりうる。
You don't have to say it like that. I mean, the poor girl has endured so much. I mean,
血濡れた宿命という言葉には貴様も思い当たる節があるだろう。まあこのような神気臭い娘に世の終わりに並ぶほどの価値があるとは少々不可解なことではあるがな。
you really have to say it like that? Oh, come on, dude.
お前、姫様に何という口の利き方を。
Yeah, tell him, Akifusa.
秋房、やめておけ。
No, let him say what he wants. I mean, I don't like the way he speaks to Shiki too. I mean, the poor girl has endured so much and that's all he has to say.
自分の妻をどうしようと我の勝手だ。貴様に指図される言われはない。
Okay, no matter how handsome you are, you don't get to say things like that to Shiki. Kuso's brow furrows. Oh my god. I feel as though he's unusually quarrelsome today. He turns away from me and sets his sights on Gentoka.
貴様か。ゆうべ玉より姫が連れ込んだ神というのは。
But I like the way he speaks. This is so troublesome. I mean, like I don't like the way he speaks about Shiki, but I like the way the way he speaks, kind of like a very what does it call, Ore-sama character. He grins broadly as he stares at Gentoka. Oh my gosh, that smirk. Woo!
我が妻をかどわかそうというならやめておけ。血を見ることになる。
Okay, are you jealous?
血を見る。私がお前より弱いとは思えない。
Oh my god. Like he's so confident. Kuso gives Gentoka a surprised look and then smiles.
面白い。我にそのような口を聞くか。身の程知らずな男よ。
Hey, don't fight indoors. Take it outside. Instantly, the room is filled with mystical spiritual powers. They are so intense that it seems to burn the skin. Nice. At that moment, both Akifusa and Tomonori spring out in front of me. Nice. Although their weapons are not drawn, they position themselves for a fight. Whether their opponents are gods or not, they show no indications of backing down. The atmosphere in the room is increasingly tense. It seems that if one little trigger is switched, the whole room will erupt into violence, each man fighting at full capacity. Like I said, don't fight indoors, bring it outside. I've got to do something to calm the situation. Please stop it, you two. Now is not the time to act like this. Yeah, you tell them, Shiki.
まあいい。妻の頼みだ。聞いて。
式。お前が望まぬ争いをするつもりはない。
Oh, you guys are very weak to Shiki. It's so cute. You're deeply appreciated for listening to me. I breathe a deep sigh of relief. They've settled down easier than I expected. Perhaps seeing the tension lift as well, Akifusa and Tomonori go back to standing at my side.
ああ、そうだ。我もお前に知らせがある。玉より姫。この野狐のおかげで危うく忘れるところであった。
Hey, come on, don't start another fight. Would you like to tell me now?
ああ、はるか西方にて不吉な気配が帯同している。それもかなり強大なものだ。
Whoa, what could that possibly be?
詳しく調べたが、漠然とした気配のみを感じるだけで居場所の特定はかなわなかった。
So that's why you were gone from Gifu for 3 days.
そういうことだ。それと戦った神たちもいるようだという話を聞いたが、
Oh, the problems are getting bigger and bigger.
気配の正体はつかめぬままに終わった。
If there have been fights, why do you think you weren't able to come up with any clues as to what's going on?
至極簡単な理由だ。相対した者は皆滅ぼされた。今のところ生き延びた者と出会ったことはない。
Oh my gosh.
またそれの荒らした地を巡ると奇妙なことにこの気風に向いているようにも思える。
Oh my god, so they're hiding towards the village?
普段なら偶然と考えるところだが。
なるほど。先ほどの玄道家殿のお話を聞いた後ではデタラメという割り切りもしづらいですね。
その何かがこの世の終わりにつながると。
think so. I mean, like it's too. Um, it doesn't seem like it's a coincidence.
断言はできんが警戒しておいて損ではあるまい。
Yeah, that's true. At times of war, you should always prepare yourselves.
この地で価値があるものなど2つしかない。剣と玉より姫だ。
Yeah, that's true. As if he's finished with his business, Kuso starts to leave the room. Oh my gosh.
まあそのまがまがしい気配がこの近辺に即座に訪れるというわけでもない。
Really? Somehow I'm not so sure about that.
せいぜい束の間の平和を楽しんでおけ、玉より姫。
You just have to jinx it now, don't you?
狐の言った予言通りに何かが起こるとしたらこれからであろうよ。
You jinx it. You really jinx it. With those parting words, he leaves. A prediction and an ominous sign, without any solid evidence to back it up. Is something starting to happen? Even when I try to imagine what lies ahead, I can't seem to form a clear picture in my mind. Yeah, I think it's just impossible to think what could possibly be happen from here. This road runs from the south entrance of Gifu all the way up to the northern part of Gifu Shrine. I explained to Gentoka as we walk along the road. All the while, various people coming and going and children playing outside stop what they're doing and say hi to us. Some of them say, "What a good couple we make." Oh, it's so cute! Some say how jealous Akifusa will be. I don't know what to answer when people tease me.
皆がお前に笑顔を向ける。いい長であるようだな、四季。
Oh, everyone's really nice. I don't know what I'd do without their support. It's now afternoon. I have decided to take Gentoka on a tour of our village. He says he wants to know everything about me. Aw, that's so sweet. If that's so, then he'll want to know everything about Gifu, as I'm inseparable from this land. The houses of the villagers are all lined up along this road. Beyond the houses are the farmlands. In the capital, I heard they use silk fabric or money from the far west, but here everyone shares the bounty of the land. We all enjoy the good times and endure the bad times together. That's how we've been living here for a long time.
なるほど。良き地なのだな。
I'm really glad you think so. Gentoka looks over at me and smiles. Please don't be upset over what happened earlier. Gentoka tilts his head to the side slightly. Kuso, he acts like that towards everyone. I apologize if he offended you.
そんなことか。案ずるな。私は気にしていない。ただ、あの者はお前を妻と言っていたが。
Are you jealous? Yes, that's right. Kuso is a god, not a person. Gentoka notes as I speak. Once every 7 generations, the blood of Princess Tamayori must mix with the blood of a powerful god. Inside me flows the blood of Tamayori Bime no Mikoto, whose blood will be diluted if it is mixed with the blood of other gods for generation after generation. When the blood of the gods is mixed with humans, it does not dilute. However, if Princess Tamayori blood is mixed with too many humans, she becomes closer to human and her powers start to weaken. Therefore, once every 7 generations, Princess Tamayori must take a god as a husband.
愛する者を選ぶことはできないのか。
That's sad. Well, the daughters of nobility in the capital don't have a choice in who they marry either. That's true. That's that's why you have political marriage. Oh, here we are. Won't you come look at our fields for a little bit? At my urging, we changed directions. I led him onto a ridge in between two rice fields. I'm a little ashamed to say that I don't get to show this area off very much, but here is where we raise our crops.
広い田だな。秋の頃は見事だろう。
It is truly as you say, the endless stretch of golden stalks swaying in the wind is breathtaking. It makes me want to give thanks to all the people and gods who help us.
恵みに対して感謝を忘れるのは良きことだ。私もこの村の五穀豊穣を願うことにしよう。
Ah, thank you.
姫様、はーい。
Hey! After walking around for a short time, we happened to come upon a woman and her child. They are carrying large baskets. Well, you're looking good, aren't you?
うん、お芋を掘ってたの。いっぱい取れたよ。これから河原で泥を落とすの。
Oh yeah? Sounds great.
こんにちは、姫様。見事なやつが取れたから後でお宮にもお裾分けを持ってくよ。っておや、男連れかい？やるね、姫様。
No, it's not like that.
外から来たもんかい。こりゃ驚いた。いい男だね。貴風の男どもがかすんじまうよ。よし、このことは空祖様にも秋房様にも黙っておいてやるよ。
Yeah, keep the secret. We don't need any more jealous man around here. You don't...
いいのいいの。あたしの口は固いよ。まあもうそこらで噂になってるかもしれないけどね。
The two wave and go on their way. Akifusa and Kuso might hear something. As I wave back to the family, I notice Gentoka is looking at me. There's a faint smile on his face and a gleam in his eyes. He's happy. He's happy. Is something the matter, Gentoka?
いや、安心した。お前もそうやって笑うことができるのだな。
What?
とてもいい表情だった。見ているだけで心安らぐ。
Because he says this to me while looking directly into my eyes, all I can do is look down and try to change the subject. Aw, she's shy. Then that evening, the sun is setting on the horizon, and we are about to walk back to the shrine. Gentoka lifts his head as if noticing something. Gentoka? What's the matter with you?
悲鳴が聞こえた。
Huh? Really? I didn't hear anything.
まただ。行ってくる。
Gentoka? Gentoka darts off quickly. I hurriedly chase after him. A scream in this peaceful little village, Gifu? What in the world could be happening? Suppressing my worries, I chase after Gentoka with all my might. I have a bad feeling about this. Running until I'm out of breath, I arrive at a spot by the creek outside of the village, not long after he arrives. Gentoka is standing there staring at something. Wondering if something has happened, I look in the direction he's facing. I don't see anything. In front of me is our small little creek where we can catch fish in spring and summer. Everything looks just like it always does. Nothing is out of place. There's a young girl crying. Next to her is a woman lying face down on the ground. Oh my gosh, no! The girl is clinging to the woman. There's a pool of red spreading out from underneath the woman. It stands out clearly against the whiteness of the snow. It's the mother and daughter we had been talking to earlier. Oh, no, 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 no. As the mother lies face down on the ground, the child desperately cries out her name. The mother doesn't respond at all. Oh my gosh. The red pool spreads farther across the snow. What happened? At first, I have no idea, but then it hits me. Could she be dead?
危ない。
What the? Gentoka unexpectedly gives me a shove from the back. As I fall forward, I turn to look behind me. A black, shadowy figure runs through where I was standing. The shadow-like figure lands on top of the white snow. No, it is not a shadow-like figure. It is a shadow itself. It appears to be looking for a new body. The blade in its hand is wet with a red liquid. I see now. That's the blood of the child's mother. She was killed by that shadow. That shadow murdered her.
下がれ。シキ。
Gentoka steps in front of me to protect me. But the shadow doesn't attempt to do anything more. It just quickly slithers across the ground and disappears into a bush. We've got to go after it, I say to myself out of instinct. But then I hear a voice.
おか
Oh, poor thing. Her frail voice stops me dead in my tracks. I turn around immediately and check the pulse of the mother. And then I put my arms around the child crouching in her own mother's blood. Oh no.
何か手がかりになるものはないのか？
何でもいい。探せ探せ。
隣に住んでたオタミじゃねえか。なんでこんなことに。
Wow, mysterious creatures arrived. Gentoka called for help and now the scene is full of soldiers. Akifusa, Tomonori, and of course Gentoka are here as well.
姫様、やはり手がかりになるようなものはありませんでした。
Akifusa reports in a regretful tone.
まさかこの気風でこんなことが起きるなんて。
Yeah, it's used to be peaceful after all. I nod in agreement as I continue to hold the child in my arms. She has cried and worn herself to sleep. Her mother was lashed to death. She was cut down by that sharp blade wielded by the hands of that shadow. Her life probably ended in the blink of an eye. If she didn't suffer, it would at least be a small comfort. Gentoka and I tell the soldiers everything we saw.
おかしな話だ。気風は結界で囲われた正常の地。人間はおろか、よほどのあやかしでもそうやすやすと入れるものではない。
Except maybe if that shadow is neither monsters or human, like it's just a shadow.
それだけ強いあやかしが入り込んだということだ。
ならばよりおかしい。それほどの強い気配であれば我が気づかないはずはない。
Oh my gosh. Kuso's voice. Kuso stands quietly, frowning. What in the world happened? I haven't yet had time to properly think about it all. All I can do is stare at the face of this poor child who lost her mother. After investigating the area for a while, the soldiers enter the forest into which the shadow vanished. Tomonori orders his subordinates to gate the villagers into their homes and to secure the entrances. It feels like something that could only happen far away.
姫様。
Huh?
ここは危ないですから、姫様ももうお宮へお戻りください。
Oh. Akifusa, I want to take her with me. Her mother was her only family. We can't just leave her in her house all alone. Akifusa nods in agreement. He takes the child into his arms and I stand up. Gentoka and Kuso are both gods. They probably perceive the events that just happen differently than how a human would. I should go talk to them. I will talk to Gentoka. Gentoka is little separated from the rest of the group. He's looking intently at where the mother was lying. Gentoka? Perhaps because he was focused on the area ahead of him, he looked a little surprised when he turns around to answer me. I want to know what your take on the situation is as a god. Is there something you think you might know? Gentoka prefaces his answer by saying that he's not certain about anything, but
先ほどの影の気配、神のものでもあやかしのものでもなかった。もちろん人でもない。それらすべてと根本的に違うものだ。
maybe that's why it can get in. Completely different. I see. I stare at the red stained snow as well. Nothing like this has ever happened. Why were those two targeted?
剣の気配なのかもしれない。
What do you mean?
昼頃、空祖が西に何かが現れ、それが剣と姫を目指し、気風へと進んでいるかもしれないと話していたな。
Right.
その何かが剣を狙っているというのが本当なのだとしたら、あの影がお前を襲ったことの説明はつく。
Gentoka, I know you're being honest, but don't give her any idea that all of this happened probably because the mother met her.
お前がまとう剣の気配、それがあの影を引き寄せたのかもしれない。
Gentoka warns me to be careful from now on. Gentoka doesn't come right out and say it, but if what he says is true, the reason that woman was killed may be because she had talked to me earlier today. No! But her death is my fault. Well,
怒っている。
you're...
そして悲しい。
The people of Gifu live together as one. We think of each other as one big family. It's only natural to feel angry and sad. Worst of all is that child who had her mother taken away from her. Her eyes. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling now. Let's go back to the shrine. I say this as I start walking away. Oh. Okay, so that's all for this chapter. I'm going to continue it later when I've got the time. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye bye. Bye.
しまうのでしょう